Long before we had giant telescopes to look deep into the dark sky, brilliant scientists like Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking used mathematics to predict the existence of monsters in space, and they discovered that when a massive star dies and collapses under its own heavy weight, it creates a ghost called a black hole, with gravity so intense that it breaks all the rules of the universe. To understand what happens inside one, we are going to follow the journey of a brave cartoon astronaut named Captain Zoom, who is currently floating deep in the galaxy in his shiny silver rocket ship. Captain Zoom looks out of his window and sees something terrifying yet beautiful. It is not a planet or a sun, but a giant swirling circle of pure darkness surrounded by a glowing ring of bright orange light. This is a black hole, and it acts like the biggest, strongest vacuum cleaner you can ever dream of. But instead of sucking up dust, it sucks up stars, planets, and light itself. As Captain Zoom steers his ship closer to investigate, the engine starts to shake and roar because the invisible hands of gravity are grabbing the ship. He tries to turn around, but the pull is too strong, and he crosses a line called the event horizon, which is the point of no return. Once he crosses this invisible line, not even the fastest thing in the universe, light, can escape, so Captain Zoom is now on a one-way trip. Suddenly, something very silly and scary starts to happen to his body. Because he is falling feet first toward the center, the gravity pulling on his boots is much stronger than the gravity pulling on his helmet. His body begins to stretch out longer and longer, making him look like a piece of chewing gum or a string of cheese on a hot pizza. Scientists have a funny name for this real process called spaghettification because Captain Zoom literally turns into a long, thin human noodle sliding through space. While he is stretching, something even stranger happens to time itself. If Captain Zoom looks at his wristwatch, the seconds seem to tick by normally, just tick-tock, tick-tock. However, if his friends back on Earth could see him through a super powerful telescope, they would see him slowing down, almost like a video game that has been paused. Gravity is so heavy near a black hole that it warps time, meaning that while Captain Zoom feels like he has only been falling for a few minutes, back on Earth, years and years are passing by. His friends are growing old, new buildings are being built, and the future is arriving, all while he is just taking a short fall. As he falls deeper, the light from the universe behind him shrinks into a tiny dot until everything goes completely black. Now comes the biggest mystery of all, because nobody knows for sure what happens next. Does Captain Zoom get crushed into a tiny speck at the center, called a singularity? Or does he travel through a wormhole and pop out on the other side into a completely new universe with purple skies and green suns? Maybe he ends up in a strange library where the past, present, and future all happen at the same time. The truth is, we do not know because no one can ever come back to tell us the story. Captain Zoom has vanished into the great unknown. But there is good news for you. You do not have to worry about turning into spaghetti or losing track of time because the nearest black hole is thousands of light years away from our solar system. It is far too distant to hurt us, so you can stay safe on Earth, look up at the stars, and enjoy the mystery of the universe without having to fall into it.